Hello, Marlita Hill here, your business big sis, and I am here to help message-focused entrepreneurs get prepared to take their ideas into the world. And I do that by dealing with first things first. So something that I see over and over and over is authors, or aspiring authors, should I say, wanting to know what are the steps to self-publishing. Right? So I just wanted to give you a quick and dirty on 8 actual steps to self-publishing. And this is from the 30,000 foot view. So you at least know what it is that you need to do. Okay. And this is not about you need to think about this and you need to think about that. No, what are the actual 8 steps that you need to do to self-publish? But before I jump into that, I want to talk to you about what self-publishing actually is. And so basically that is the process of bringing the book from idea to printed form, right? So that means that you are responsible when you self-publish, you're responsible for all of the coordination and payment of getting this book published, marketed, distributed, selling it. You're responsible for all of that. That's what it means to self-publish, okay? When you go through a traditional publisher, they take care of some of that stuff, but listen, there are lots of great articles out there that are written about the value of self-publishing, especially in this market and in this climate of publisher and author relationships. So let's get into this. Don't want to waste your time. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do and going through your book is you need to plan your book. Okay, you need to get clear. This is my work. Okay, this is my book, Nail That Niche, and all of my work in helping you get prepared to take your message into the world is to help you get clear about what you're building or get clear about the book you're writing. Okay, so you have to get clear about that first, because every other decision that you make in designing this book, right, and getting this book to print is going to be directed by what book you're trying to write. Okay, from the way you design things, the way you lay it out, to the words that you choose, the tone of voice, all of that. And you want to make sure that you're creating the best book possible. That's going to be possible when you're clear about the book that you're building, or book that you're writing, clear about the message and the audience, and then all of the other production decisions align with that intention. Yes? So first thing is you got to plan it, okay? Then you write it. Okay. Next thing is edit it. So don't be cheap on an editor, okay? What I like to do is self-edit as much as possible, and then I send it to an editor. Please, please, please do not skimp on letting an editor edit your work, okay? So that's the second thing that you have to do. Number 1 was plan your book. Number 2, get it edited, okay? The next thing that you have to do, and I'm gonna look here down at my handy notes so that I don't make this video eternal. But the next thing that you have to do after you edit your book is you got to decide the trim size. And the trim size of the book is going to be the actual size of it. Okay, so this is like a 6x6. Is it going to be 6x6? Is it going to be 6x9? Is it going to be 4x7? Like, what is your actual trim size of the book going to be? And you need to know that. Let me give you a tip for that too. I would look at books in your house, right, to decide, okay, what size book do I want this to be? And get a ruler and measure it. Or you can look on Amazon under their product details and find out the dimensions of the book. You need width and height. Also, one of the things that I would do is I would go to a bookstore like Barnes and Nobles and I would look through. That's how I got to this size, because I just wanted this book to just be a little handbook, right? To just take you through the steps of my system really quickly. And so I went to Barnes and Nobles and I looked for different books, and I was like, oh, that's a great size for what I'm trying to do. So I went and I looked up the size, and that's how I determined the trim size of my book. So it's called trim size. You need to know that. And the reason you need to know that is for step number 4, which is design the interior. So that is how all of the words and pictures and chapters are laid out on the inside of the book. Okay. You can do that yourself through something like Vellum or Microsoft Word, or you can hire an interior designer for your book to lay out the book. But you have to know the trim size first, because the trim size affects the inside, how the inside is laid out. And as soon as you change this trim size, everything shifts on the inside. Trust me, learn that the very, very hard way. Okay, so you got to decide your trim size, and then you go and you get the interior of the book designed. Okay, so that's step 4. Step number 5 is copyright your work. Now you can do that, as soon as you finish writing it, but copyright your work. Now listen, guys, I know. As soon as you write it, it's copywritten. But you've done all of this work, and this is about taking your message into the world and spreading it throughout the world. Can we be legitimate? Copyright and register your work, please. And you do that with okay, I'm talking to people who are in the United States of America, all right? In the US. So for my US people, you would go to the Library of Congress. It's like $55 to copyright it. Register your work, please. Business Big Sis saying register your work, okay? All right, so you have to copyright it. The next thing that you need to do is purchase your ISBN number. So the ISBN number, I don't know if you can see that there, but it's the 13-digit number that is at the top. This is kind of like the social security number of your book. It's what helps your book be searchable, identifiable, that kind of thing. And I would also purchase a barcode, which is $25 more. So the ISBN number is 125, and then the barcode is $25. So it would be $150 in total. Before you do that, though, you have to decide the price of your book, because the price goes over the barcode. And what will happen is you purchase that with ISBN.org, okay? And then you would register there, and you would purchase this, and you would send this, right? This comes as a digital file, and then you will send that to your cover designer, which is our next step, all right? So that's what you need to do. If you want to sell this in bookstores, then you need to do this. Now, I'll say here, I'll do in another video about why you want to buy your own ISBN number, but I'll just say this really quickly because people ask, or should I say I've seen people ask, well, Amazon gives them free. Should I purchase my own? Yes, you should. Because if you use the free one that Amazon gives you, you can only use that ISBN number on Amazon's platform. So let's say you want to sell it also on Barnes and Nobles, or you want to get it, you want to list it on some other marketplace. They're going to make you go and buy your own, because each of those marketplaces are different places. And let me tell you something, Amazon ain't letting you go and take their stuff anywhere else. Because when you take Amazon's ISBN number, what you're saying is that Amazon is the publisher of record. They're going to be the publisher of record for their stuff. They're not going to let you take their stuff and put it on Barnes and Nobles, and Barnes and Nobles is not going to take it. So you might as well just go ahead and get your own ISBN number. Okay, we're thinking big. So $150, we can do that. And you need to do that for each version. Okay, so let's say you wanted to do hardback and paperback. Well, you need one of these for hardback, and you need one of these for paperback. Any version that you do, you need an ISBN number for. Okay, so that was step number 6. Step number 7 is that you need to get your cover designed. Just like I tell you, do not go cheap on an editor. Don't try to splurge on the cover design, okay? Work with an actual cover designer. This is the advertising for your book. This is the window dressing for your book. It would be such a shame for you to go through all of that beautiful work, right? To write this book, get your ideas and messages clear, and then you got a bootleg book cover, as my friend would say. Stop the bootleggery. Okay, so work with a cover designer, all right, to get your cover designed. Now, you can't do that until your interior is designed, because you have to know how many pages are in the book, because that's going to affect some dimension calculations of your cover. Okay, so you can work on the concept of the book cover, right? But you can't get the final book cover designed with all of the proper dimensions until until you know how many pages are in the book. Okay, so you have to know your trim size so that the interior can be properly designed. Okay, and then you have to know how many pages are in the final manuscript so that they know how to calculate the dimensions of your cover. All right. And then number 8 is that you gotta print it, get it printed. And so whether that is that you only want to use Amazon as a printer, right, through KDP, whether you want to print it through somewhere like 48 Hour Books or Ingram Spark. So there are lots of decisions on the printing that you have to make. But that's the thing. And then I guess with that, I'll say you got to print it and then figure out where you want to distribute it, right? Where you want to market and sell it. So I guess that's 9. I'll make that 9. Okay. So you got to figure out where you want to list it, where you want to market it and sell it. So is that on Amazon? Is it on your website? There's lots of different options that you have that depend on what you as the author intend to do with this book, because getting it printed is just the first step in your author journey. Okay. So those are the 9 steps that you got to do in your publisher journey. So if you want to self-publish, this is what it means. These are the 9 things that you got to think about. And listen, in each of these steps, there's a whole lot of steps, but you can do it. I've self-published 5 books myself. It's totally doable. Okay, it's totally doable, and there's lots of great information out there, but at least I've given you what areas you need to research, right? I just wanted to give these 9 steps, but I'm going to link to another video that I've made where I actually go into some of the things that I've learned and some of the things you need to think about when you're self-publishing your book, okay? I am Marlita Hill, your business big sis, here to give you the 9 steps that it takes to self-publish your book, and I will see you next time.